Hello everybody, once again a very warm welcome. Now in today's class, as we are discussing regarding the chapter microbes in human welfare, we are about to complete this chapter. Last topic which is left in this chapter is microbes as a biofertilizer. Till now we have learned that microbes, they act as a biocontrol agent in agriculture. But yes, they do play a very important role for the biofertilizers like fertilizers or all these nutrients or the inorganic substances which we normally use like which is produced in industries. We can also use as microorganisms, and these microorganisms, they enrich the soil quality without affecting any kind of effect. Right. Nowadays, people are moving towards organic farming. So, organic farming is all about what? This is all about the nature. It's all about the things which are already present in nature. We should utilize them, and we have to maintain a sustainable relationship between an organism and an environment. Right. So, this is what we are doing without harming any kind of species present on this earth surface. Now, we were talking about the microbes as biofertilizer. So, microbes as biocontrol agent already discussed. A last small topic which is left in this chapter is this one. Now, these biofertilizers, they can be bacteria, they can be you can say any other substances can also be there. In this case, the mycorrhiza are also there, the actinomycete is also there, which can act as a biofertilizers. So, I will be talking about each of these in detail. Now, first of all, let us talk about this bacteria as biofertilizer. As biofertilizer. Bacteria as biofertilizer. Right. Now, these bacteria, they can be free living also, they can be a symbiotic bacteria. Now, first let us talk about, here I am writing the free living bacteria, right. So, as per the free living bacteria are considered, in this we have an example like Azospirillum. Azospirillum, right. Another example we have is the Azotobacter. Azotobacter. Now, what actually this free living bacteria do? They help in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen, and they have a capability of around fixing 10 to 25 kg of nitrogen per hectare. They can fix this much amount of nitrogen, right. Now, this is one example, that is a free living. Likewise, we have certain other bacteria also which we all know, that is a symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria. So, second, symbiotic. Symbiotic, that means they are living in association with certain plants. Symbiotic, for the symbiotic association, we have a very good example like Rhizobium. So, Rhizobium, they live in association with the leguminous plants roots, and they form root nodules over there, and they help in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen and convert them into the ammonia. The whole process of nitrogen fixation, yes, I will be dealing in subsequent chapters. Now, this is symbiotic association. One example we have is Rhizobium. Right. Is it clear to you? So, Rhizobium is there. So, what this Rhizobium do? They help in conversion of this atmospheric nitrogen, help in conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. How do we write ammonia? As NH3, right. So, symbiotic, the association between the Rhizobium and the roots of a leguminous plant. So, this is another example, right. So, this was the first one example was free living, and second is a symbiotic, right. Second, the third we have is nitrogen fixing actinomycetes. third, here I am writing nitrogen fixing actinomycetes. Right. In this case, we have another example, that is Frankia. Example is Frankia. Right. And Frankia, they also live in association with the non-leguminous plant. Non-leguminous plants. Right? Can you name one or two of them? In this, one example we have is elder. You can take one example like elder. Right? So, bacteria as biofertilizer. So, first is this one, free living. Second is symbiotic, example Rhizobium, and third we have is nitrogen fixing actinomycetes. Now, this is one thing which is a bacteria. Likewise, we have other, you can say the cyanobacteria also, which help in the nitrogen fixation. Let's talk about that. So, second, cyanobacteria as bio fertilizer. Right? Cyanobacteria are also there. In this case, a very good example we have is Anabina, and second example you can take Nostoc. So, Anabina also live in symbiotic association with the Azolla. So, that is why the symbiotic association, in bracket you can write down Azolla, Anabina, symbiotic association. Right. So, cyanobacteria itself play a very important role in oceans, in water bodies. They help in the fixation of nitrogen, right? Azolla and Anabina. And overall, when we talk about the fixation, the nitrogen fixation per hectare per year, that is also very high. That is around 20 to 30 kg. So, it fixes around 20 to 30 kg of nitrogen per hectare per year. Here also you should write per year, right? Is it clear to you? So, first was the bacteria and second we have the cyanobacteria. Let's talk about the third example. The third example we have is another very good example, that is a mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza as bio fertilizer. So, mycorrhiza is also association. Now, this is an association between a fungus and plants, or higher plants. So, this is an association between fungus and higher plants, right? And they basically helps in absorption of phosphorus. Absorption of phosphorus. Now, this mycorrhiza association not only help in the nutrient enrichment, or they do not only help in the transfer of the nutrient, rather than they are also important for controlling the root pathogens. So, they also help in controlling what? Root borne pathogen, right? They also help in increasing the tolerance to salinity. Right? And other than that, the last but not the least, which we all know, they also this is also important for the overall growth and development. Growth and development. Okay? So we have discussed all the three type of microbes which are used as a biofertilizer. All these, right? Is it clear to you? So in bacteria we have discussed the three type: free living, symbiotic and nitrogen fixing, actinomycetes, cyanobacteria and the mycorrhiza as biofertilizer. So this was the small topic which was left in this chapter. So hope this topic is also clear to you. So with this we have completed your whole chapter. So hope it is completed, like as it is completed from my side, hope it is completed from your side also. And in the next session, I will be discussing CBSE pattern question exercise from this chapter. We will look at what type of questions can be asked from this chapter. We will be going through that 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks, 5 marks, like this, all these different kind of questions we will be discussing from past year examination. So till then, take care of yourself. And one more thing, whatever I have taught you in this session, just revise it thoroughly. Like before revising or before having any kind of concept clearing, or like suppose your concepts are not clear, then do not watch this CBSE pattern question exercise. That will be a totally wastage of time for you. So first of all, focus on all these sessions, prepare your own notes. I know sometimes it becomes difficult to remember all those things, but this will not be only you can say helpful for your only for the CBSE examination. Also, this is another very important question which can be asked in your NEET also. So simultaneously, there are certain topics which plays a very important role for your CBSE also, and they are important for your NEET examination also. So that will be just one-on-one situation for you. So take care of yourself. Meeting in the next one. Thank you so much, students, for watching this.